That company got Miami Vice, the series. Worked on that series from start to finish.
Hi, and welcome to Kelly, where we talk about life, your life and my life, and through Kelly we hope to inspire. Today I have a wonderful guest on the show, Cheryl Loudin Kubin.
Kubin. The Irish Cuban.
Okay. Cheryl's a casting director, and she's helped us a lot over the years with Kids Connect and mingling with young talent and giving young talent advice and really being a helper in the industry. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for being here, and thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So let's talk about you.
Okay.
Let's talk about tell us your history, what you've done, how you got into casting, and
okay.
Bring it on.
My mother was an chairman of the English department in every school she ever taught. She was a teacher. She would always then fuse a drama department out of that. So I got my love of theater through my mother. Harriet, shout out to Harriet. So I studied theater in high school, college. I went to Carnegie Mellon University for a summer program. I studied at the Royal Academy in London, England for a year, my junior year of college at Marymount College, Tarrytown, New York, and graduated. Thought I was going to be an amazing actress and I was going to take the world by storm, and then reality set in, and I was a waitress, and I was living in Washington, D.C. with my sister. I got a job, or actually I went to Miami, Florida for Christmas one year, and never left. Got a job as a production assistant on commercials, which is the base beginning level, but you learn a lot of stuff. And then was hired to answer a phone in a busy casting office once a week. And then I was on, and that lasted like one day, because then she hired me full time, and I worked there doing commercials and films and really learning everything about casting. And then that company got Miami Vice, the series. Worked on that series from start to finish, really.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but towards the end there, I went in-house with my good friend Lori Wyman, and we did casting in-house for that. When Vice wrapped, I opened my own production company. I got married, opened my own own casting company, and pretty much did a lot of commercial stuff. Was there 10 years. My husband worked for UPS, still does, and he was transferred, and so I moved here, took time off to be a mom, and was a great mom, a team mom.
And still are?
Yeah, yes. And then decided when my son went to college at UGA, go Dogs, I got back into the business. I kept my CSA status, which is Casting Society of America. Was very difficult to get into, so I kept that, and just kind of segued into the industry with the tax incentive program, as we know, took off, and so.
And you found yourself back.
I did.
Now, how was it? Tell me, as having wanting to be an actor, does casting satisfy you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I feel like I'm a better casting person because I have that foundation, and I know the plight of the actor, what they're going to go through, what they need from me, more so than someone just standing behind a camera and saying a line or saying act.
Right.
And
and different advice you can give them to further them along, or what they need to work on.
Absolutely, or how to, kind of like, I don't feel like I teach acting. I feel like I tweak you,
Yes.
because I know what we need in that moment right there that the client has expressed to me that they need, so that I can just say, okay, make just a tiny adjustment, and maybe that's not going to help you learn how to act, but it certainly helps me get to the end result for that day.
Now, as a casting director, will you purposely give an actor an adjustment just to see if they can take that adjustment?
Sometimes, but mostly that's what the director does. And I always encourage my directors to direct, please, because actors need information and they need to know. I mean, it's so funny because directors seem to want that person to walk in the room with it. But if you give them no direction, how do they know what they're doing?
Yes.
If it's just for a film, say if it's for a piece, you're a piece of in a puzzle, you have no idea what came before you or after you. And with this whole like Marvel NDA stuff, you don't even know the name of the film.
Yes.
And as a casting director for union jobs, Screen Actors Guild jobs, specifically film, I am supposed to give you the entire script if you so desire to read it at the audition.
Oh.
And in with all that, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Like Woody Allen films, you don't even know.
Yeah, well,
He
I
doesn't
know
even tell
when
you.
we do tapings with the actors, a lot of times we don't know what the project is or who it's. They're so very secretive about it.
Exactly, which is counterproductive, I think, because the actor really just needs information.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And even on callback situations, directors will. I'll say, why don't I'll kind of say, why don't you just
Yeah.
instead of
Which is just where we've gotten as a society, because everything has become so, people, they have to stay closed with things because we don't
Right.
have the trust with
and
with
well, and
people
also
that-
with the social media the way it is,
Right.
I mean, it just spreads like wildfire.
Yeah.
So where back in the day, you didn't have that.
Right.
You could be a little more secretive or just say, okay, don't do anything. But people taking pictures on sets and people, showing, storylines and things like that.
Yeah, because
So.
they a lot of times, especially for extras, they don't give you your location until like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about what a casting director does. Why it's important for an actor to know what a casting director does.
Okay, so as a casting director, basically I direct the casting. So producer, director, advertising agency, whomever is in the hiring mode will call us and say, here's what we need. Basically, it's our job to reach out and find whatever they're looking for. These days, I see a lot more, they're looking for the real thing. Instead of somebody who can act like a biker, they want a biker. Or somebody who can...
Is that just because it's easier? I mean, then you...
I think it is, but then the person they're not camera savvy. They don't know what's happening on a set. They don't know anything about how it's being shot, where to look, what to do, what not to say. I think it's 50-50. It's easier because you don't have to, that person really can ride a horse, as opposed to an actor saying, I can ride a horse,
Right.
and then you get on the set that day and find out that they could sit on a horse. Perhaps just sit on the horse. But okay, so I reach out to whomever, mostly agents. I prefer to deal through agents. And we put together a session, or we ask people to tape, and then it goes out via however to the powers that be, and then from there they do callbacks or they book. I have heard the term misused so many times, casting agent.
Okay.
That is, that's just like a little, agent to me implies that I'm taking a percentage of your money, which casting people do not take money from talent at all.
Yes.
That's the agent's job. Casting is paid by producers, advertising agency, production company.
Right.
So a lot of people use that and say, oh, this casting agent. Well, it's not. And now, so that's something that I and the CSA, Casting Society of America, are trying to correct.
I like that. Good information. Good information. I've never really even thought about those two words being yes.
Yeah, because to me that implies that and I think that came to be because the DGA, the Directors Guild of America, way back in the day, said casting directors are not directors. So they had a huge issue with that, and that this was brought to light in a wonderful documentary, which if ever you get a chance to see it, it's called Casting By.
Okay.
And it's kind of really the history of casting, how casting came to be. It's very cool.
Wow. We have 10 minutes, so let's talk about, because we are in Atlanta, and let's talk about what Atlanta has going on, where we're at as actors, where we're at. I mean, obviously we know that we have, the film market is here.
Right.
And it's all over the place.
Right.
But as far as acting is concerned, we're still, I take it as, we're babies in the industry, and we're pulling up our talent market, and we are booking things. I mean, my students have booked some really cool things, but we've got a ways to go.
Yeah, we do, and I think that that it's the mentality of the fact that we're good for day players, one-liners, and extras here, stand-ins, that kind of thing. But I think that it's changing with more grassroots production happening here. And I'm working on several projects that it's all local producers. Of course, the director's going to be LA. We have to attach a name. But then I'm really, volleying for bigger parts to be cast here.
Right.
Because as long as you got it one or two names, that satisfies what they need. But then, the directors have friends, producers have friends, and it's just like, come on, let me do it. We can do it here. We have wonderful people. Just let them tape.
Right.
So I find myself kind of pushing and shoving a little bit that way, but you have to.
Yeah.
You have to, because, and every day you hear actors saying, oh, I just relocated from LA, hoping that they're gonna have, bigger parts here, and that will happen. It will happen, but I think that mentality is still happening.
And thus far, we've done really good on growing our independent world, where people are trying things left and right. They're putting out material, and really good stuff. Material.
Yes, absolutely. And I've done a lot of shorts and independent stuff.
I just love to see in the environment people doing things. I really think that as people, we are creators, and if we have the ability just to create things, that it keeps us out of depression, it keeps us bonded with one another.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the feedback that I'm getting from these writer directors, young new filmmakers, is that the talent is, when I supply them with the links, I get, do it, you have people self-tape or you tape them, and they're just like, there's so much talent here that's so amazing. And the content of these indies and shorts is so good too. It's a good vehicle for the actor because they get the footage for their reel, which they need as well, and the on-set experience.
Right. So what will it take for us, according to Cheryl, what will it take, are we going to get, do you foresee that we'll get to the point where we're taking major roles?
I think we will get the opportunity to audition for the major roles. I think that because we need names to sell and distribution and all of that stuff that is so frustrating to me as a casting person, it's still going to take a little time.
Yeah,
but
I
think
have
that
to keep trying.
Yeah, the opportunities are going to be more plentiful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And I'm encouraged very much and proud to be in this industry.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for working for us in Atlanta, because it's needed, and we want to do things.
Yes, and there's so many people who are unfortunately taking advantage of the desire and the wishfulness of mostly, I think it's parents for their children.
Right.
But the level of talent that we have here is amazing.
Yeah.
It's really
Let's hit on
good.
something really quick, so we don't have much time, but let's talk about scams. Because as the industry grows, we have more and more scams that pop up, and tons regarding casting. So how can people be aware of scams and know that what's legit and what's not?
I think that the primary thing is, if someone asks you for registration money, turn around and run. If someone says you have to take pictures with this photographer or you have to do it this way, now granted, we all need profiles on Actors Access, Breakdown, casting networks for commercials.
And a referral is different. You can say, hey, we use this. That's like in our studio. I have certain photographers, and I say we use this person. I'm not getting kickbacks from this person. It's just a referral. I have about 4 or 5 that I like and I trust. But I don't care if you get them somewhere else.
No, absolutely, and exactly. But when they say no, you have to go through this,
then you know there's something going on.
Something shoddy, or you have to take this class, or you have to do this. I mean, I think you need to use your gut as well, and be intuitive about the process and say if it sounds too good to be true. It probably is, unfortunately. It's very painstaking to be an actor, you know, because you want to so desperately believe that they're telling you you're the next thing since
I know, I've seen
bread.
a lot of, I've had numerous cases of people who get sold into these big showcases and they pour out thousands and thousands of dollars and they're not trained for them. They don't even have the training to be there up in front of the casting directors and the so I have for you, this is a little gift. You said you like dark chocolate. It's just something that we do on our show.
Oh, you're so funny.
This is just a symbolization of that you are a gift. And so I wanted to give you a gift. And
that's so sweet. Thank you so much. And I think what you're doing for the talent too is amazing. And I you know, just we need more of you.
Oh, thank you.
out
I
there.
just have a heart for kids, and I want to keep kids safe, and I want to keep them in good environments, and I don't want to squash their
creativity, their dream, their
that gives me chills. It's so important.
Absolutely. And in now more than ever, it's so diverse, this industry. We're looking for real people. We're looking, so especially say for commercial stuff, you have, you know, just be, and I say for commercials specifically, watch commercials, see what they're doing. It's all sometimes just about your essence and who you are. So be who you are. Don't be afraid to be who you are.
I love that. We actually talk about essence a lot in here. Just you know, what
and
you want to,
energy.
what you want to permeate, what you want to put out into the. I'm so into energies. I could just get in a whole conversation.
Well, and I am too, because you're the only you that you can be.
Right.
You know, so be you.
Yes.
150%.
Let it shine.
And
Let
be
it
proud.
shine.
Be proud.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
on.
Thank you.
And I'd love you to come on again. You know, we can pick specific topics to talk about, or anything that you have that, you know, can help other people. Love to have you back.
Absolutely. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that we gave you something that was informational and inspiring.